like we always do.
This is Grow Depot Radio, and we are live on 104th and Huron, and we have Heavy 16 in the building. How you feeling?
Doing great. How you doing?
Oh, another day in paradise here at Grow Depot. Who else did we got in the building here?
Heavy 16, Bryce Patterson, owner and creator.
How's it going?
Here. It's good to be here.
It's an honor to have you guys both in the building here today.
Absolutely.
Proud supporters of the products. We have a couple samples that we're going to be chatting about, but first I want to get into some history about Heavy 16.
Let's hear that straight from the man himself.
Yeah, let's do that.
Absolutely. In a nutshell, always been into this stuff since I was a teenager. Developed it into a lifelong passion. Went to Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. Got the best education ever. And I've just been all around the state of California, doing farming, lots of production agriculture, Napa Valley, wine business stuff, seedling transplant nurseries, fruit orchards, you name it, I've done it.
How long have you been in the industry, so to speak?
About 20 years.
Wow.
So
20 years deep, and
yeah.
The seeds that you've planted throughout your journey have bloomed into, Heavy 16 here.
Absolutely, and that's what it is. It's my baby. This is everything I've learned along the way, and it's all in products that I use personally, obviously, and I'm able to share with everybody around the country.
We're proud to have you guys in Heavy 16. Well, I think we should talk about the foliar spray first.
Oh yeah, this is my baby. This is the best one.
Please,
Yeah.
please share.
As far as chemistry goes, it's based on evolutionary biology. So it has to do with the fact that, we believe plants came from an aqueous environment, from the oceans.
Sure.
And as they emerged, they were acquiring their nutrition via their leaf tissue. So what we do is we take an approach where I can actually make a tincture of plant tissue. It's dichotomous plant tissue, and there's a difference. You want to use the dicots, not the monocots, so that it coincides with the same actual carbohydrates that another dichotomous plant will want. So inside of this product is about 7 different preformed photosynthates. They're just complex sugars that another plant has already made. So when we spray it on a plant, it will recognize those as its own.
Sure.
So we call it it's more of like a blood transfusion, if you will, for a plant.
Now, how often would you use this product?
We would use that about every 3 days. I'll spray it in a fine mist.
Okay.
That's the key to the administration. There's a couple other applications that coincide with, just differing like pest management and different timings or times in the growth process that you'd want to use it differently. But for the most part, it's every 3 days. You're spraying this on your mothers. It takes about an hour to get in the vascular tissue of the plant.
Already answered my next question.
Sure. The other aspect to it as well is that it's our CalMag. So I use some very high grades of calcium. There's 4 different forms. Basically pioneered the idea of a cascading delivery of calcium. So there's 2 quicker release forms in the nitrate and chloride, but also we have some slower release calciums that are the acetate and gluconate forms. And in the brewing process, we're basically able to neutralize the calcium. So the calcium is positively charged, and leaf tissue and root tissue is net negative. So normal foliar sprays or even administrations in the root zone, what's happening is the calcium is magnetically sticking to the outside of the plant. So it's not as efficient as when you're using some organic chemistries to kind of neutralize.
Sure.
It allows for the molecules to get into the plant rather simply.
What an amazing product. It seems like this is your guys' staple product.
It's one of them. They all hold equal weight.
Sure.
Yeah. This is, I call it my baby just because of the complexity in the manufacturing. The science. It was taking the science first and then coming up with the product, secondarily.
Okay.
And having it coincide with obviously higher yields, just way larger amounts of stress reduction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this plant product basically biochemically changes the plant to the positive of being able to sustain tissue to about 145 degrees. Being able to sustain the plant material that high, really biochemically what it's doing is it's kind of priming the pump of photosynthesis. So in a stressful situation, respiration will still keep going as photosynthesis will fall off. And it's just due to a lack of carbohydrates, but also to enzymatic integrity. And what that means is that in undernourished plants, that only get a select amount of nutrients. And this kind of coincides with the whole line and the idea and concepts, that I incorporate, is it's all about making them absolutely bulletproof. So you want plants that can ride through the stresses. It equates to yield in the end, but leaf tissue thickness and intracellular enzyme integrity.
But also a very, easy product to use, like we were saying, off the air.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody could pick this product up and do great with it, I feel.
Yeah, I tell everybody I made it so my mom could use it and do better than everybody.
That's awesome. I bet my mother in Wisconsin would, if she had her own garden, she would knock it out of Miller Park.
Yeah.
Take it from a beginner to a professional real quick.
Yeah. It's an extreme buffer.
Sure.
I mean, it just makes anybody a professional. And, people see the quality. They can see what's actually happening to the plant within, hours at least. So it's a very effective tool.
What a product.
Yeah. And then the calcium, magnesium equivalents that are in there, it's actually a more efficient way to deliver those two ions in particular to the plant, because there's no reactivity problems with the aqueous, the irrigation water in the soil. So it's highly efficient. The product is a very fine oil base. It's actually a human nutrition in a sense, where I can spray this, just to give you an idea of timing, of harvest, because I get a lot of guys with, concentrates and whatnot that are worried about spraying things on their plants.
Right.
Even though we don't like to take it up past probably about the 4th week of flower, just to set everybody at ease. I can spray this on lettuce and harvest it the same day.
Mid-bud.
Yeah. So there's no residual, effects of it, just because of that carbohydrate base.
Sure.
And then the calcium and magnesium are food grade. They're human grade.
It's a very, very unique foliar spray.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's liquid yield. It is the byproduct of photosynthesis in the truest sense. So, like I said, the dichotomous plant tissue is key. And when that gets in there, it partially goes and helps prime that biochemical pump, but it also gets stored in the root tissue. So this will be sprayed on the leaf tissue and be translocated as though the plant made it itself. Wow. So it allows the plant to basically get a gain over time, which is the key. It's all about slow spoon feeding.
Right. You're not forcing. You're not forcing too much or too quick. It's like this is a very natural and organic process. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely, very natural. With that being such a fine oil, it also has a contact kill with soft-bodied insects. So we can spray this directly on, spider mites and things of the like, and it will actually suffocate them and lead to
fungus, gnats,
just everything.
Soft-bodied insects.
We don't like that.
So yeah, it's a real good tool, because it's, in agriculture, it's all about, your efficiencies and economics. So you only want to make one pass. Like if you're driving a tractor in a field, you don't want to have to till, plant, so do all the different things you have to do. You want to do them all in one process.
Just do it all in one run.
So sometimes, when you see pictures of tractors in the Midwest, they'll have huge implements, and they're basically towing 3 different things behind them. Right. So one, it's like one begets another all the way down the line. It's the same concept of farming is in the foliar spray. So we're trying to achieve multiple uses in one pass.
I like that. To relate to that, I was born in central Wisconsin. I have seen, tractors and different apparatuses, all in one pass.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. No, it's very true.
That's why we're the big grower preferred.
Right.
Is because this is geared, it's the highest quality, but it's also geared for ease of use.
Yeah,
so
that professional grade.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody to go on Instagram right now, because I know that most people have this new trendy technology called Instagram on their phone, whatnot. Make sure to go hashtag Heavy16, and I want you guys to see for yourself how many amazing pictures come up, and let the product speak for itself. I handed out some of these samples this last week. We had some customers come back through already asking questions, already excited about Heavy16. That feels good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just once it gets in their hands. I mean, that's why we give out samples.
Once it gets in their hands, they don't have to pH adjust. Is that correct?
Yeah,
It
that's
is
correct.
Anymore.
Yeah, that we thrive off of an organic pH scale. So everything that I've done is it was more or less based on a Dutch approach, but kind of brought into the 21st century. So we wanted to add all the new technologies. It's really heavy. It's a splice of hydroponic technology and soil science, but it works well in everything. And that's
Wow.
just more of a testament to the fineness of the products, but also the pH mechanisms. So the foliar spray, for instance, when you mix it up, I tell everybody to not pH it because it's a very fine organic acid pH. And when we mix it up, it will come out to about 3.5. But if I took a pH meter and I stuck it in a glass of orange juice, it would read about 3.5. So that's an organic acid.
Right.
If I took a glass of water and took like some advanced nutrients, pH down, phosphoric acid, pH'd it to 3.5, and I drank it, it would probably kill me. But the meters don't tell the difference. So that's what I try to preach first,
Sure.
to all my guys is
Keep the product as natural and organic as it is.
totally.
Because that's how you guys created
Yeah.
it. And
It's softer.
why you guys.
It's friendlier.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of the Dutch formulas or older fertilizers, that was the technology for the day. So they're 40 or 50-year-old recipes by now,
Right.
and they were based off of mineral acid-base reactions, which they work phenomenally. They lack the buffering.
Having this new technology and these new sciences and this really brilliant brain that you have, you've created a really amazing product. I'm really super excited that you guys both are here at Grow Depot, on Grow Depot Radio today, talking about these products. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We have 3 more samples to talk about. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and jump right into that. First, I want you to go ahead and let everybody know how we can reach you guys.
Well, there's always heavy16.com.
Right.
That's the best place to go. You can see the pictures. If you're from California or Oregon, I would still click on the other states.
Sure.
It's just a bureaucracy that all the departments of ag.
Gonna
make
get
us
a lot
do,
more
so.
information.
Yeah, you'll get the full descriptions of the products that I've written. It has most of the derivatives. I mean, that's another thing too. I hardly put anything on the labels just for selling it around the country.
Sure.
I have all these different departments that I have to deal with, so we keep it rather vague, but all the information's on the website.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Make sure to go check out heavy16.com. We'll be back. This is Grow Depot Radio, live on 104th and Huron. We'll be back.
But we always do about this thing.
All the windows are busted out.
Like we always